In this episode, we sit down with Jonathan Hodgson, also known on social media as Half the Man. In this episode, we're going to delve into the reason why. Jonathan's story is inspirational, amazing, empowering. What he's achieved in the last 3 years is something I've never seen before, and it just goes to show that anything can be done if you have the right mindset. This episode is not to be missed. I hope you enjoy it. Jonathan.
Tom.
Thanks for joining me, mate.
No problem.
You're known on Instagram as Half the Man.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Because I've lost over half my body weight and a little bit more as well.
So what did you weigh initially and what do you weigh now?
So January 2021, 17th of January, I weighed bang on 40 stone.
Wow.
It's nuts when I think about it because it just don't seem 2 minutes away, but it seems so far away at the same time.
Yeah. It's not, is it? It's 2021's not long
No,
ago.
it's
at all,
gone.
is it?
It's gone pretty quick. But it does. I think it's because I feel like I've left my old body. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
But then I've created a new one. So I feel like I've left the existing man behind, but I've created a new. Like I feel like I've got a second life, like a second lease of life now.
So what do you weigh now?
About 16, fluctuating between 16.6, 16.7.
So
But £5 of that was skin.
25, 20,
23 and a half.
23 and a half.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's like, what, like 2 of you or something?
I'm 14 and a half stone.
Yeah, that's not far off. It's like you and a half, innit? And
mental.
what's crazy is I think it works out like 140 kilo, I think. And I actually, I had it on my back in gym and I tried walking with it. And I literally lasted about 30 seconds. I had to go back and re-rack it. I couldn't walk with that weight on my back.
So take me back to that point then when you weighed 40 stone. What was it internally that made you think, I can't do this? I can't be this weight anymore. I've got to make a change.
So what happened was, in lockdown, I started watching some videos with a local coach from here, and it was probably like September time. And what had happened was, he used to do daily videos in lockdown, and I'd get my phone out to text him or to send him a message, but I just didn't have balls to message him. And I didn't want to ask for help because I'm really stubborn. And I think it's just in my nature that I'm just a bit old school.
Okay.
So I'll probably say I literally went to message him 4 or 5 times. And the last time I messaged him, I lowered my hands up, it was by accident.
Right.
I didn't actually mean to message him.
Okay.
And obviously protocol, one of the things was to get weighed, and I genuinely didn't know what I weighed originally. And I had some scales at mine that they went up to 32.5 stone. So I remember the day after I set up and joined and stuff, I went downstairs in the morning and I went to jump on these scales, and it said OL on these scales. And I was like, fuck's up with this? Like, do they need batteries changing or something? So I had to Google what OL meant on a weighing scale, and it means over limit.
Right.
So I had to order a new set of scales off Amazon that went up to like 45 stone, I think. And I'm thinking, I genuinely didn't know what I weighed at that point. I think I was a bit naive. I thought I might have been like early 30s. So even though like these 32 stone scales said OL, I think in my head I was thinking like 33, 34. And then these obviously got on my next day delivery, and then these scales come, and I got weighed the 17th of Jan. And obviously I didn't know what it was going to be. And I remember looking down and I saw it was bang on nose 40 stone, and I just started crying. And I was just thinking like, there's just no way back from this, like at all. Like, do you know what I mean? Like when I think about it now, I think, how the hell did you get up and just motivate yourself to get up and get on with life?
It's like you just said though, I asked you what your next meal was.
Yeah.
And you said chicken, potatoes and veg. And you said you enjoy it.
Yeah.
And it's the same for me. It's like Monday to Friday,
Yeah.
I eat the same things, bar like I might have rice instead of potatoes or a wrap. Or,
Similar.
It's very similar,
macros,
same
yeah.
stuff every day, all day, and I've done that since I was 14 years old.
Yeah.
And it's like now, like you couldn't ever think about being any
I
other
couldn't
way.
go back, no, but I am like a recovering food addict. Like I have got a food addiction, but that I admit that.
Right.
So that is me.
And do you think that's what made you get to that?
100%, yeah. I've got a food. I had it. I think I've always been overweight since I've been a kid, and I remember being 19 and I was 27 stone.
Right.
And then I just started working outdoors,
Okay.
and I remember doing like a set program. Somebody said eat some of these certain foods. I remember getting down to about 17 and a half maybe. But the problem was I wasn't educated on it. So I got the weight down, but I didn't know how I did it, if you know what I mean. So like I'd like starve myself. I wouldn't eat certain foods. And it's like anything, like if you take something away from yourself, you just want it even more. And I think over time I rebounded off that. And then, yeah, just like obviously progressively, like I used to feel shit. So I used to eat shit to feel better for about 20 minutes, and then I'd feel crap again, and then I'd want to do it. It was like a repeat process, and I just couldn't get out of it.
What was it working with this coach? So that very first day,
Yeah.
you started working with a coach. Was there times of, not relapse, but you know, when you thought, fuck this, I'm not doing it?
I think what it was is, I think, obviously there's a lot of good coaches out there. And I think the difference with this one is that I'd lost belief in myself. And he were really good at making me believe that I could do the task. So I think it was just that somebody in my corner backing me.
Yeah.
That made me believe that I could do it. But I think it comes back to as well is when it wasn't like he didn't give me like a set plan. It was just like a pack to read through, and it was just more like educational stuff, which I'd never had before.
Yeah.
On like calories and expenditure and stuff. And what happened was he'd said to me, if I don't get your results, you get your money back. And for me, like I'm a bit of a safe person, so I thought, let's just give it a go, and then worst case scenario, I'll just get my money back off him.
I love that.
Do you know what I mean?
That's what I do with my
Yeah.
clients. I say the same thing as if you don't see value. Or
Yeah, because then it's like there's like no risk, no reward
Yeah,
kind of thing, isn't
yeah,
there? Do you know,
yeah,
for
yeah.
yourself. So I thought, so the first week, like I didn't really clean my diet up at all. Like I remember, like I was still eating McDonald's and stuff the first week, and I remember after a week I jumped on scales, and I genuinely not jumped on any other day. It was just I said I give myself a week, and obviously I know there'd probably been like a bit of water weight that first week, and I jumped on, and I lost £19 in a week. Wow. And it were at that point that just totally changed, like a game changer for me. I just thought, yeah. And I think it was that moment when I thought, you know what, let's achieve something here. Like it could be possible to do it, and it's just a numbers game. But it's just realising that. Like I'm quite big on. I think they should involve it in like education at school.
100%.
And I'm quite big on that. If I could change, if that's one thing I could change about, and not saying to push it on kids, but you know, just to like, just basics.
Yeah.
Because I think there's a big obesity problem at UK, and it's only going to get worse in my eyes. Because at the end of the day, you can go to Morrison's and you know yourself, like it's not massively cheap to eat good, is it?
No.
But then you can get a frozen piece for £1.
Yeah.
And I think that if they need to stop it at source for me, because that next generation, what's going to come up. And I think just basic education around kids, it'd make them maybe think second, do you know what I mean? Maybe have like a second food option to what they potentially choose.
Well, I think it's that you just said about the simplicity of how to lose weight is expenditure, isn't it?
Yeah.
Eat less.
And move more. Yeah.
And then the difference, the calorie deficit, and the amount of people that I'll speak to that might ask for advice. Like I'm not a fitness online coach, I'm a mindset online coach, but part of what I coach is about, you know, what you eat and how you move, is how you
100%.
feel. And they'll say, how do I lose weight? And the amount of people that don't know that a calorie deficit is how you lose weight is absolutely mad.
But that's where I was like for years though.
Yeah.
Like I go to Slimming World, I'd try these fad diets week in, week out. And I were always looking for the next thing. So like 1 week I try keto or whatever, 1 week I try Atkins.
Yeah.
And I'd get to like, I've even known myself like start a diet on a Monday morning and I'd leave work for like 7 and I'd be like, right, new week, new me, this is it, it's gonna change. And I'd be in McDonald's drive-through at like 20 minutes later at Tankersley.
Really?
So like already like I'd like lied to myself that it was gonna be like a fresh start. But this time, after that first week, I just knew it was gonna be different this time. And I knew that I'd do it.
Was it a change in your mindset?
Yeah. So everybody says to me, what have you done it? What is have you done what you've done? And I always say 80 to 85% nutrition, like 15, 20% gym. But I always say it's 100% mindset.
Yeah.
Because everything comes through your mind. So even if somebody says to you like eat them certain foods, like it's your brain that tells you to eat that. So everything comes through that. So once you get a control of your mind, then everything else just naturally flows.
Yeah, I love that.
And I think that just in everyday life, like it's like a bit of a snowball effect. So like you'll gain a bit of confidence and then it just affects other areas of life. So what happened was, I think at the end of it, or midway through, like I thought, do you know what? It's not even about losing the weight. It's not even about the number on a scale. It's how would I feel? I climbed Mount Snowdon at 24 stone, and I felt amazing. And I were walking. I think what triggered me is I was walking down, and there were like lads like your size who were like blowing out their arse, and I was thinking, do you know what? Like, because when I went to do that, no matter if I'd said to myself, no matter if you have to crawl, walk, or go up on your hands and knees, you're going to do it. And I think that's the difference, because once you get the mindset, like you're just unstoppable.
Just getting rid of those self-limiting beliefs, innit?
Yeah.
That you can achieve whatever you want to achieve.
And once I'd done one, then I agreed to another, and then another, and then I'd done Yorkshire 3 twice.
Yeah. Do you think it goes back to that day that you decided to do something about it, and that was the day that everything changed? Do you know, I say to people all the time, like whether it's losing weight or reaching a certain amount of financial income or a business or anything like that, and people look so far into the future, and it scares the shit out of them. And I say that I think having dreams that scare you is important, but just look at what's in front of you.
Yeah.
Put one foot in front of the other, and then keep going from there.
So like you say, I think like so my original end goal was sub 20.
Yeah. And what time did you want to achieve that within initially?
I'll be honest with you, I didn't set a massive amount of time. But to be honest with you, I honestly think it took me 2 years to lose 20 stone.
Okay.
Because obviously I've done it naturally as well.
Yeah.
I honestly think I could have probably done it in 18 months. But the difference is I wouldn't have enjoyed the process. Because throughout the process, like I've had off-plan meals at weekend with the family. I've been on holiday. It's not been linear. Like I might have lost 5, put half on when I've gone away, then I've come back down. It's not just been a straight trajectory line.
Well, that's what it's all about, though.
That's what it's all about.
Enjoying the journey.
It's enjoying the journey, but then it's also knowing that you are going to have a dip in road and realising that it's all right to have a dip in road and that you can come back from that. 100%. And that's the difference.
It's that, yeah, like you said, I say this a lot to the people that I work with. You know, this journey of life isn't linear. It's not that. It's up and down and up and down, up and down, up and down.
But I think the down times are the times that make you grow as well.
100%.
Like I honestly, like I could not imagine going back to what I did. I mean, I couldn't even get out of bed on a morning. I tried to get out of bed. That's how bad it was. I still worked at 40 stone as well. What
did you do?
Electrician.
Is that what you do now?
Yeah.
I suppose as well, it would have massively improved your performance at work.
Oh,
within the business.
I don't like, obviously, I've like doubled my income.
Brilliant.
Because I've got the drive to do more and to earn more and stuff.
But it's the mindset that you applied to lose the weight is now the mindset that you apply to business.
So that's what I mean. It comes across every area of life. So like originally it was fixation on the weight, but then after a short while you realise that it's not just about numbers. It's you bring it into everything else. You get discipline across everything else in your life as well.
That's it. But I think that, so people will ask me like, what's your obsession with the gym and everything. And I was like, it's not an obsession with the gym per se, but it's the obsession with the byproduct. Not just physically, but mentally.
Yeah.
Like if I get to the end of the week and I can say to myself that I go up at 5 and I go to the gym at 6 every day that week, then the traits that it's taken to do that are traits that if you apply to every aspect of your life, you can't do anything but succeed.
I get up every day at 4 for gym.
I'm not quite a 4 o'clock person.
Well, it just works for me. It works for everybody, but it works for me.
Anything less than 5, I'm knackered all day.
It works for me, but I go in on a morning, I see same face on a morning, and I have a lot of respect for everybody in the gym on a morning.
And I've seen you a couple of times when I've trained at the JD and Barnsley.
And it's not easy.
No, it's not.
And the other thing as well is what surprises people is people say to me like, "Oh, do you love going to gym?" And I'm like, "No, I don't like going to gym. I hate it." Yeah. I don't say I hated it.
We don't always want to go.
But I don't always want to go. I don't love it. I don't hate it.
You're not always motivated to go.
But like you've just said, but the feel when I come out at gym on a morning, like it sets me up for the day.
Yeah, I'm the same, mate.
And I think it's the fact that like I don't know if you've ever had it, but obviously on the drive into one of the gyms, obviously where we train at, like you go down that little street and there's everybody's lights off and everybody's sleeping, but then you're getting to work.
Yeah.
And I think it's like a bit of a self-achievement on the morning.
Of course it is, man. That's what I say. Like like you said, with the children coming through now and the kids coming through and the education that's lacking, it's that I think that in this day and age now, the reason why there is so many mental health issues is because in the last 10 years especially, how easy has life got for people? You swipe your fingers, you get food delivered 100%. To the door. You swipe your finger, you get pretty much anything you want instantly. Everything is instant gratification, instant validation. Nothing requires hard work. And dopamine, which is chemical neurotransmitter that our brain releases, which is responsible for motivation and mood, is often released from doing things that require hard work.
And it's patience as well on top of that. Yeah, I totally get that.
Getting up in the morning, 4 or 5 o'clock, getting to the gym, nobody wants to do that. So by doing that, it's that instant, not the instant gratification, but it's the gratification of I did something I didn't want to do.
Yeah, I mean, it took me, obviously, like, to start with, like, I'd probably snooze my alarm, but over time, it's got less and less and less. So, like, now it's like my alarm sets off. And it's just, what you have to do is, you'll just build a small habit.
Yeah.
And then it's just like a snowball effect. So, like, I think somebody come into the gym the other day and they were saying, "Oh, I'm toying getting up." And
you said go to bed earlier.
Well, I didn't say that actually. I just said, "What are you doing?" And you were like, "Oh, I'm just snoozing my alarm." And just little stuff, little tips what I've like contemplated in my journey. And I said to him, "Set your alarm on your phone and put it on charge at the other side of the room, so you have to get out of bed."
Yeah.
And it's just little bits like that. And then he was there the day after, and he was like, "Do you know what? I can't believe it's a game changer." And I was like, just little bits like that.
Little 1%ers.
Yeah.
I said a similar thing to a client the other day. I said, because I'm a big advocate of cold water therapy, so ice baths, cold showers, and the clients that I work with, I'll implement that into their daily routine. And the client that I was working with was saying very similar. I love the cold showers, but I'm really struggling getting up in the morning. Yeah. And I said, "How close is the shower to your bedroom?" He said, "It's pretty much next door." I said, "Do me a favour, just entertain it for a day. Put your phone
in the bathroom,
in the shower."
In the shower,
and see how you get on. And he went, "Game changer." Yeah. He said, "I get in, I have my cold shower, and there's no looking back. I'm on it then."
Well, if you get a cold shower, then first thing in the morning, you're going to wake up.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. But like I said, it's small marginal gains. I think the mistake that a lot of people make is that they're looking for that big win.
Yeah.
They don't exist. No. It's small daily habits, small marginal gain, 1% better every single day over a long period of time. It's going to be that big win.
Patience as well. I mean, like, I'm not joking, I lost 5 stone. Yeah. And you couldn't even tell. But it was...
Was that disheartening?
But I knew...
How did you feel when
I felt all right, because I think that I knew I'd done the work. Yeah. Nobody else had done it for me. So I think even though nobody could tell, I think that if you rely on anyone else telling you stuff, then you're gonna fail anyway.
It's not gonna go very far.
It's not gonna go far, is it? So like, if you do everything that you possibly can to be the best version of yourself, then it don't matter what anybody else thinks anyway. So like I literally lost 5 stone without even going to gym. I couldn't even walk to end of the street without getting out of breath. I literally started walking to end of the street and I got farther and just put 100 yards on every time. And then I started going to gym. And then, like I say, it was just a snowball effect.
From that starting point of the journey to losing all the weight that you've lost, how long was it after that you first stepped into the gym?
Well, I think I started in January. I think gyms opened in April.
Right.
And I think it were around about 5 stone at that point. So I'd lost 5 without just walking.
That's
And
mental.
I know, it's nuts, isn't it? And I think like, people will say to me like, do you know like who were like 25, 30 stone or around that figure? And it's like, they'll say to me, I don't know what it is, I can't lose weight. And because I've been there, I'm not disrespectful to them, but I'll say to them like, if I drop you on a desert island for a month and pick you back up, I guarantee you'll have lost weight. So it's something that you're doing. But people, like I did, like them chocolate bars that you buy on your way from work, you forget about them, don't you? Because obviously your brain's not focusing on that.
Yeah. It's the habit. There's have you read Atomic Habits?
No, I've seen it though.
You'll love it.
I'll have to admit, I'm not a massive reader.
Yeah. You can get it on Audible.
Yeah.
With everything that I know that you are into,
Yeah.
you would love that book. And he speaks a lot about that. If you want to change a habit,
Yeah.
so if eating poorly is a bad habit, then you have to change your environment.
Yeah.
And a lot of that is if you are in an environment where everybody else in your household is also within a bad habit,
Yeah.
then you're going to stick within that bad habit. If you remove yourself from that environment, I don't know how feasible that is for most people, but if you say to the people in that environment, we're going to do it together, you're all trying to eat healthy, then rather than do it on your own, everybody's doing it and make it easier to stick to.
I think it has, obviously in our household, like, I think obviously like my wife did lose some weight, but I've never said that, I've never like said out to her, she just did it on her own.
Yeah.
Because obviously like when I wore really heavy, like she loved me for who I was, do you know what I mean? And she stuck by me through thick and thin. And
How long have you been with your wife?
10, 11 years. Nice. So I think like it might have been maybe early 20s when we met, early 20 stone maybe. And she always said like, I still fancied you at 40 stone. I didn't tell her what I weighed for 6 months.
Right.
Because I was like distraught.
Yeah.
I was that embarrassed. But from me being open now, like, I'd rather get uncomfortable sharing stuff from my experience to make somebody else feel comfortable. Because like I'll say stuff to somebody and they're like, do you know what? I thought it was only me that did that. Like hiding food in your van, or like eating something at way home, eating a McDonald's at way home and then going home and saying to your missus, I'm starving. Do you know what I mean? And then you say that to somebody else and they think that it were only them that had that issue.
Yeah. I love that, using your experiences that you might not have been comfortable talking about.
Yeah, like I never thought I mean, obviously, like it's not something I do often, but I never thought I'd be sat here today like 3 years ago. I never thought I'd tell anybody how much I weighed. I mean, I remember telling her for the first time, I says, do you know how much I weighed? And she was like, I'm not even bothered. I'm not bothered. I'm just glad that you sorted yourself out.
Yeah.
And then I thought that was like massive, that, because I just thought, you know what, like, it's not always about that either.
No.
But it was more the fact that I was falling asleep when I was getting home from work. I wasn't able to run round garden with kids. For me, if they wanted my time, I'd like say put a film on and I'd fall asleep 10 minutes in and then wake up when it were done. And I always say, like, my mum said I'm a bit harsh on myself, but I do say, like, I don't think I were a very good dad when I were heavy, which in theory I wasn't. I was present, but I wasn't present. And I think sometimes, like, one of the things I've learned is that you can't change the past. The only thing what you can do is concentrate on the future and just try and make up for that. So that's all I do now. So I spend as much time with them as I can.
I see a lot on your Instagram, how much time you spend with your kids.
Yeah.
It's amazing, mate. It's obviously, again, it's the habits that you've instilled into your mindset and your day-to-day life now will pass on to them, and that's what...
I just feel like I've got a second shot at life.
Yeah.
And I just feel like I've grabbed it with both hands. And I'm just enjoying everything.
Yeah, you can see it, mate. I love seeing everything that you do.
Yeah.
I think what you epitomise now as a person is so inspirational because you see so many people, like how many people you know, and I don't mean this in a disrespectful way, I just mean it like genuinely honest, like how many people do you know that wake up in the morning and say they're going to do something and never ever do it?
Oh, loads.
And how many people say that they're going to lose the weight and they never do? How many
Yeah.
people say they're going to start their business and they never do?
I've lost track how many people I've tried to help.
Yeah. But you are, what I'm saying is that you are living proof
That it can be done.
that it can be done.
I remember going to see one at surgeons because obviously, as you know, like I've had my skin operation.
Yeah. When was that?
About 4 months ago. So I am rebooked in to go end of October for some revision.
Yeah.
So like, we're just going to take some more off at front.
Did they say how much the skin
Yeah,
weighed?
I've got a photo with it, I'll show you after. The fight were about £5.
£5.
Yeah, like it's like massive, like big lump.
Wow.
Yeah, and like I'll go out my way to try and help anybody.
Yeah.
But if they don't want to be helped, they'll not help
it.
themselves.
Same with my brother. His addiction, you know, and I say this to a lot of people with what I speak about with my brother Liam about his addiction and his unfortunate suicide. People will say to me, so and so is struggling with addiction, so and so is struggling with this, and I'll say it's unbelievable that you're there for them, and it's great that you're there as a support network. But the unfortunate truth is that unless they want to help themselves, then nothing will change.
Yeah.
And there's a long journey ahead of them. But the unfortunate thing I come across with a lot of people is that they want to make the change, or they say they want to make the change.
They don't want to do work for it though.
But they don't want to work hard. It's like there's the tip of the iceberg that you see with so many people, either successful or have a great physique or just doing well in life in general. And you always see this tip of the iceberg, but you don't see this 80% underneath.
No.
The long days, the hard work, the early mornings, everything, the adversity, the trauma. And that's the thing that nobody sees.
They just think you wake up and then it's just like that.
Yeah.
They don't see your late nights, you like say your early mornings getting up, prepping your dinners for the day after, going on long walks,
Everything.
everything.
There's one thing I'm conscious of because I've got a bit of a following on social media now that I've built up over the last few years. And it's like I don't post the getting up at 5 a.m. I don't post it to show off. I post it as a this is what I'm doing every single day, consistently over 12 months, every single day, every single year.
Yeah.
And that's why everything that's a byproduct that's positive is a byproduct because of these different things. It's not just happened overnight.
But do you feel bad for that? Because I think I've got to a stage now where like I'm honestly not. I don't really care what people think of me.
It's not that I care what people think. I'm just trying to, like Tom's Talks was founded to make a difference in the world, to inspire and motivate other people.
Yeah.
It's not that I'm looking for validation from other people.
Right.
I'm trying to do it as a motivation for other people.
Yeah.
But it's sort of like I want to make people aware that the success that I've had comes from the daily habits and the consistency that I've had over a period of time. And that's why I'm conscious that I'm posting, this is what time I'm getting up, this is what I'm doing on a daily basis.
Yeah, to show people the hard work, the graph that you put in.
This is the 80%, underneath the tip of the iceberg. This is what it takes if you want to do something with your life. It's not that I'm looking for the validation from these people, it's that I'm looking to motivate these people and inspire them. Do you know what I mean? Yeah,
I get what you're saying. I think, obviously, like you said though, I think unless I wanted to be helped, but my issue is I didn't want to ask for help.
Yeah.
But I think once I I got a message back from him, I feel like weight had left on my shoulders. I feel like weight had been.
Is there somebody I know?
Pete Shaw from Barbell.
Pete Shaw.
You'll know him.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah. And
Barbell Fitness.
Barnes and Barbell.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, sorry, I do. Yeah.
Very like mindset stuff is very is good. But once he messaged back, I just felt like a weight had been lifted off my shoulders, and I felt like I put the pressure on him.
Yeah.
So I felt like it was his job to get me to do the work.
Do you feel like you were trying to find the answers from him? Like you were relying on him to do the work to make the change.
I knew I had to do the work, but I think it would just come back to the fact that I think he did a good job in making me believe that I could do the job. And I think obviously, maybe after 1 month, I'd gone from not thinking I could do it to knowing I could do it. And I think that was the difference.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. That's the thing. That's a good coach is somebody that motivates the person they're coaching to find the strength within themselves, whether that's by asking thought-provoking questions or giving them the advice and the tools that they need to achieve. I think a lot of times sometimes I fall short of thinking that I've not done enough.
On their behalf.
On their behalf. But it's not that I've not done enough. It's that sometimes the difference is that some people want to do it, some people don't want to do it.
Yeah.
You can give somebody all the support and the tools that they want.
It's like I always say, you can take an horse to water, but you can't make them drink it, can you?
It's just sometimes some people maybe need that little bit more of a push. Yeah.
But I suppose that's where you come in to
Yeah.
to understand that on their behalf, on their level.
Yeah, I've got one client that says if I've not checked in or I've not that, ring me and give me a fucking bollocking.
Yeah, do you do that?
Well, I'm not that kind of person, but I think I need to start doing it, to be fair. But some people need
Some people need that though. I think everybody's different.
Yeah.
Like I feel like if everybody's different in how they approach stuff. Like I've said to somebody before, like what works for me might not work for you. So somebody else said to me, like, can you give me your diet? And I'm like, why would you want my diet?
Yeah.
Because you might not like what I give you.
Yeah.
And you're not going to stick to it.
How was that transition initially?
The diet?
Yeah, from when the starting point over the first month, 2 months.
Yeah. So the diet transition was, once I got the education around foods and stuff, the probably first few months were just numbers.
Right.
As in calories. And then I started over time, like you just said, to I've started implementing like more whole foods in it.
So when you started, like, from having a coach myself, you know, when you go through the gaining phase, cutting phase, reverse diet, all that, you'd find that if you were 40 stone, for example, somebody's not going to turn around to you and say, right, you need to eat 1,800 calories a day, because it's not something you're going to do. Did you?
It won't that. It was just more. It was basically saying, it was like educational, as in like, work out your calories. Obviously, these are type of foods that you need to eat roughly. I think when I worked it out, I think for me to be 40 stone, I think I had to be eating like 10,000 calories a day or something like that.
Do you reckon that's what you were eating?
Probably over.
Every day?
Oh, pretty weight, wasn't I? So
even at 40?
Yeah.
I guess you don't know because you didn't have the scales, did you? Like what the progression of weight gain was?
I think the thing is for me is it won't necessarily the amount of food, it was what type of foods. Like on my way home from work, I'd easily have like, I'd literally get four, do you know, like how you get like 4 Snickers in a pack for like, well, back in the day they were £1 before COVID. Yeah. And I'd get 6 bags of crisps and I'd eat them on my way home.
Really?
So there's probably 2,000 there, isn't there?
Yeah.
Just in like a snack. Oh. So if you think about it, so I think the first week I lost 19 pounds, I think I'd set myself, I think I were either 3.3 or 3.5. But I did my own, it was just like I did my own diet.
Did you do it through, did you just write it down and work out the calories yourself?
No,
or did you
it would just wing it.
Right.
Just wing it to start with. It would just like, let's do just a numbers game. It would just like, eat your calories. And then obviously over time I started to clean it up. And then now it's like 80-20.
Yeah. What are the calories that you're eating at the minute? Are you still looking to continue to lose weight?
Not really, no.
Are you happy with where you're at now?
So at minute, so I did like a couple of coaching things before me op, and I set mine. I like we like to eat out as a family.
Yeah.
So I set my diet up as like Monday to Friday, like about 2.5 thou, and then at weekend I allow myself to spend a little bit more, maybe 3.5. I'm probably maintaining at that, but I still have like days where like, if I go out for a meal, I find it very, very hard not to have a start, main and dessert. But I know my weaknesses. So I set my calories up around that.
Okay.
And then sometimes, if I know we're not going to go out on a weekend, then I might have a little bit more Monday to Friday to allow for that. So I don't really want to lose any more weight. I want to try and put a bit more muscle on. I want to get this operation out of the way end of October. And then I just want to, my goal next year is to do a photo shoot. That's the end goal.
I saw you working with Ben Bray.
I've been working with, well, with
New
New
Gen,
Gen, but
yeah.
I've been working with a kid called Ryan.
Right.
And I mean, like, do you know when I see photos of people like in shape and stuff, I always used to think like they're just genetic freaks.
Yeah.
And like, obviously, over time, like I've started getting like lines and definition and stuff in myself. And
Yeah.
I never thought that had happened.
That's motivation in itself.
100%. Like, and I've just never seen that. So, but I only want to do it once because I know I'll hate it. But I want to do it because I'll just, the photo from the start to finish, like, it'll just be like, no. And to be fair, even the fact that, obviously, it'd be like a boost for me, but I think it's more to show everybody else what's possible.
100%, man. I think it's.
That's why I want to do it.
I think it's absolutely amazing, and I think it's so inspirational what it is you've actually achieved. I do.
Funny thing is though, for probably 2.5 years, I hated myself for it.
2.5 years after the journey.
No, like, yeah. So up until 6 months ago, people had said to me, "Are you proud of what you've achieved?" And I'd say no. And they'd be like, "Why?" And I was like, "Because I'm more mad at myself for letting myself get to where I did." And then it changed for me a little bit because somebody once said to me, "You always try and take a positive out of a negative. So why do you not do it in your journey?" I'm like, "What do you mean?" And they were like, "You're always really criticising yourself, but why don't you see it as is that you've lived and breathed at 40 stone and now you're here to tell your story?" Because to be honest with you, I think our going on, I reckon I could have been maybe months from death.
Really?
Yeah. I had like really bad sleep apnea.
Right.
And I used to wake up at night like choking.
Fucking hell.
And it's weird now because my wife now sometimes wakes me up because I'm that quiet.
Right.
Because she's used to me being that loud. Once she shut me up thinking I'd stop breathing because it's gone. It's like total change. Everything's just changed for me. Like everything.
Well, in a massively positive way.
In a positive way.
Yeah.
And I'm just loving life.
What was the turning point from, you mentioned that you hated yourself for 2.5 years.
Yeah.
Was it the conversation you had with somebody that said, you start seeing a positive out of a negative?
I think so, yeah. I mean, I've always said that to somebody else.
Yeah.
But then on that one thing, I've never been able to get around it. I've always been more just, I've hated myself because when you're that weight, like, I knew I was big, but because I carry it as well, I look at photos now and I'm just disgusted. But I never saw myself as that person, if you know what I mean. And it was just the thing when he said, use it as inspiration to inspire others and to show what's achievable.
Definitely. Well, how many people's messaged you on Instagram?
I've lost count.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously I don't get messages. I remember somebody messaged me once saying, "I know you must be really busy and you get inundated with messages," and I think I won that day, that only person that day. But I was like, yeah, no problem. Like, but I literally would go out my way. Yeah. I speak to people in Morrison's. I go past people in Morrison's and I've heard them say, "That's him who's lost all that weight." Yeah. And I wish they'd come up to me and speak to me because I literally would go out my way to help somebody because I'm really big on giving back and because I think it all comes back full circle as well.
Definitely. What do you think it was in your childhood, in your upbringing, you know, what was it internally, do you think, that caused you to put the weight on that you did?
I've asked myself this question a few times, you know, and I've never had therapy. Because obviously Katie says to me, like, "Oh, you need therapy because I've got proper body dysmorphia and everything." And the only answer what comes back to me is I lost my nan when I was about 12. and she was like, I thought a right lot about her. And I remember being absolutely like devastated, and I think that's the only really thing I can think of, as in childhood.
Trauma.
Yeah. I wish I'd got some fancy story, but I just hadn't. Like, and I don't even know if it is that. I just think I've always, obviously, I remember, like, to be fair though, I remember being at school and walking home from school and buying packs of biscuits. So it might be from that, because I think I was like 12. I was 12 when she died. And I thought a lot about her as well. You know what I mean?
Significant, like, people underestimate the significance of any form of trauma, but especially childhood trauma.
Yeah.
Like I've said time and time again, that trauma, adversity is awful, and at the time it's the worst thing in the world, but it does shape you into who you are, whether that becomes a negative or a positive.
Yeah.
And from your situation, initially was a negative, but with the mindset that you've applied, it's now become a positive.
Yeah.
For where you are right now, and the habits that you instill on a daily basis, and what you do to help and inspire other people. Like you said, it comes
back full circle.
full circle. And that's what life's about for me.
Yeah.
You know, life is, it's tough. It's hard.
It's not easy.
It's not easy at all.
It's not easy.
Yeah, it's very, very, very difficult. But who you are today is a combination of all the shit that you've had to put up with in your life.
Yeah. Like, I have had some shit. Like, if I can't even, one of the things, somebody says, why do you like helping people? And I was like, I just don't want anybody to feel how I felt.
Yeah.
Like, and I feel like as low as I went, there were only one way, and that was just up. So I don't think you could have got any lower than what I did.
Did being at that weight cause you to be depressed?
I don't like to say depression,
Right.
but maybe.
Why not?
Because I'm a bit old school with stuff like that. I've never really delved into it.
Okay.
I think it makes you think differently. So like, you as a 40 stone man or as a massively overweight man, your thoughts, like now, like if you go out for, like if I go out for a meal now, like I don't look at my surroundings.
Okay.
Do you get what I mean? Whereas like before, I'd be like looking at another table, thinking, is he watching what I'm ordering?
Right.
Just little bits like that. So I feel like, in regards to depression, maybe I was depressed, but I don't like to admit it. Do you get? I don't know.
Why?
I don't know what it is. I just.
Is it that old school mentality?
I think
of
so.
A man is a man, and
Yeah.
you can't feel like that.
Yeah.
I get it.
Same with like like when I think about it, like when I think that day I obviously meant, or it was fate that I sent that text
Yeah.
to him. But being totally honest with you, it were an accident. But then sometimes I think, same again, like I feel like I've always been a good person. And then like I say about stuff coming back round, and that's why I'm quite passionate now about helping other people. Even if it's just one little tip to give them. Like if anybody messages me on Instagram, I always message them back. And I'll always spend time out of my day to do that.
Yeah, you'll help a lot of people, definitely. Just from posting the content that you post and the things you put in your stories, there's probably thousands of people that have wanted to message you that haven't.
Yeah, I think
from sharing your journey, it's going to help a lot of people, definitely.
I think that obviously it's not my job, so I would like to post more stuff.
What's stopping you?
From what?
Posting more stuff.
Because sometimes I just think that what I've achieved's not a big thing. But that's just me. I don't like to give myself a pat on the back.
I'll give you a pat on the back because it is a massive achievement.
I appreciate that.
It's huge. Like I said to you earlier, like for me in life, the thing that it pisses me off, people that make excuses.
Yeah.
People that make excuses and say that they can't do something, and then you come along and you are living proof that it is possible to lose 23 stone.
23 and a half.
23 and a half, sorry. 23 and a half stone. You could speak to somebody now that's 40 stone.
Yeah.
And you could say to them, if you give yourself a couple of years, good nutrition, education, exercise, you could lose 23 and a half stone and they tell you to fuck off.
Yeah.
But I'd then introduce them to you and you'd be like, well, it's possible because I did it.
It is possible. I think, I also think that I've had people like, and I don't know if it's just a bit of banter or whether they've gone out of their way because jealousy or what, but I've had people like accuse me of having a gastric band and stuff.
Right.
But obviously the people who are close to me like know that that's just not true at all.
Yeah. But again, that's the thing, mate. Like, and I say the thing with my story and my journey, as positive as I try and be, and as much as I, like yourself, try and do to help other people, no matter how well you're doing in life, no matter how much you're doing for other people, there's always going to be somebody that's going to try and bring you back down.
Yeah.
That's just life.
I've got over that now. Like, if I post something, if I get like, do you know, like how some people like two or 3 years ago, if I'd have posted something, like a photo of me as a 40 stone man, and somebody had been like, do you know, like said something,
Negative.
I'd have been absolutely traumatized. But nah, it just, honest to God, it just does not bother me.
That's the mindset.
But that's the mindset.
Exactly.
It would not bother me at all.
Yeah.
Like 2 years ago, I'd bypass the good comments and I'd go to the bad one. Whereas now, it wouldn't bother me at all.
It's part of the journey as well. Like similar to myself, mate. I started my following through Tom's talks. Really kickstarted maybe the beginning of last year, I would say. And I'd post a few videos on TikTok that went viral.
Yeah.
And I'd get loads of.
I messaged you about that if you remember.
Yeah. I know.
Remember?
Yeah. But I get 95%, probably more, positive comments.
Yeah.
And I'd get one comment just been awful.
Yeah.
And it'd ruin my day.
Yeah.
But now, like you said, if I post anything now, like I absolutely love all the positive comments. If somebody posts something negative, I generally
Don't bother you.
don't.
Best thing about it is though, the negative comments, I've got a profile picture of
Yeah.
or a dog or something.
Yeah.
And I just think like, you must be a sad person.
Yeah.
But I always say like, don't take criticism off somebody who has asked advice from.
Yeah, exactly, mate.
And like, I think if you take that in life as well, I mean, I've had like people before say to me like, oh, do you know, like when I got to like sub 20 stone, they'll be like, oh, you don't need to lose any more weight now and that. And I was just like, why are you saying that? You never come up to me at 40 stone and said, you need to lose some weight. But then when I've dropped to more a normal route range, I've had people say to me, oh, you don't need to lose any more now.
Do you know what I think that is? I've heard this a lot recently. People want you to do well, but people don't want you to do better than them.
I didn't want to say that, you've made it now I head. That's what I think it is.
And that's the thing for me, like I've got 3 best friends, and one of my best friends is called Elliot. He's an entrepreneur and he's got his own recruitment business.
Yeah.
And his journey's been very much up and down and up and down.
Yeah.
And I said to him the other day, and I said, we've been on a par financially, and not that shit matters, but stuff like that. And I've said, this year you've surpassed me, and I fucking love it.
Yeah.
It's inspiring.
It's inspiring. I'm saying, like 3 years ago, do you know if I saw somebody driving that street in a Ferrari, I'd think to myself, fucking wanker. But do you know if I saw somebody driving around, do you know if I saw like somebody in a Ferrari now, I'd be like, my man.
Yeah.
How's he got that?
Yeah.
And it's just that mindset shift because you're happy for people as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think everything comes back to like just discipline and knowing the journey that you've gone on. And because you appreciate what you've done, you can appreciate that they've obviously had their journey as well. And everybody's journey is different.
Exactly.
But I think it all comes under the same banner.
Yeah, definitely. But you've hit the nail on the head there. When you've achieved something, and you've achieved said thing by getting up early, working really hard, being disciplined, being patient, you know how hard that is.
Yeah.
So when you see somebody else achieving said thing,
Or if they've done like a photo shoot or something, I know they've gone through well to get to that.
Yeah, you appreciate it.
And I appreciate it.
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, mate, I find it so inspiring what you've achieved since 2021. I think it's absolutely phenomenal, and you will help more people than you will ever know. I think it's,
Yeah,
don't ever stop being you, don't ever stop doing what you're doing, mate. I think it's absolutely fantastic.
no, I appreciate that.
Just got one last question. If you could go back to Jonathan at 2021, 40 stone, what would you say to him?
What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Well, that's what I said to him.
Powerful.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what come into my head then. I think that's all I need to say, I think, on that.
Jonathan, been a pleasure. Thank you very
Cheers,
much,
Tom.
mate.
Thank you.
Cheers.